All right, so we got Jimmy Butler has made his decision. Now, listen, there's been a lot of trade rumors, but the only place Jimmy Butler needs to go to is the Golden State Warriors. I said it here first. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. By the time of this recording, we are at 520. Like, comment, and subscribe. Jimmy Butler to the Warriors. Let's push that agenda and that narrative. Please and thank you. Like, comment, subscribe.
Have officially declared they are now open to trade offers for Jimmy Butler, and Butler's agent has released a list of 3 teams who Jimmy would prefer to
Gotta be
traded
Golden
to,
State
which
Warriors.
means NBA trade season is upon us in a big way, as Jimmy Butler's list is made up of the Golden State Warriors, the Houston Rockets, and the Dallas Mavericks. 3 teams.
Don't go to Houston. Do not go to Houston. No. Dallas Mavericks. Wouldn't they have to trade Klay Thompson to make the money work? If they could keep Klay Thompson, do it. But if you have to trade Klay Thompson, don't do it. It's his first year. Don't do it. Golden State Warriors is the only one that makes sense.
Theoretically,
only place that makes sense.
Jimmy Butler Unleashed could make a major push towards this year's title. And because Jimmy has a player option for the 2026 season, this summer, if he chooses to, he can become an unrestricted free agent and sign anywhere.
Smartest thing for him.
It is reported that Jimmy will opt out of his deal and become a free agent, giving him unique control here while also putting the Miami Heat in some rough waters. As Jimmy could leave this summer in a move that would leave Miami with nothing. No trade assets, no picks, just Jimmy Butler's revenge upon them. However, due to the fact that Jimmy does have a player option and can opt out of it though, he can also pull this move and control his destiny with a list of 3 teams that he wants.
Imagine he went to the Celtics. Not gonna happen, obviously. But just imagine.
Go to, as he can make it clear that he's only going to re-sign with the teams he wants to play for. This has been a classic move of
I really want him to
NBA
go to the
stars.
Warriors.
Nobody wants to trade
Please
for
go to the
1 year
Warriors.
or actually a half-season rental to then watch Jimmy Butler burn them in the offseason. So what's up, Mike here? Today,
please go to the Warriors.
Butler, his current value in the NBA.
My nigga Curry needs help.
And we're going to look at the potential
He needs
trade
help.
packages involved. Before we do that, though, we have to ask: is playoff Jimmy still the beast he has shown to be in the past?
He will
Jimmy definitely believes
He will be.
in himself. Last season, after not making the playoffs, Jimmy would say,
if I was playing, Boston would be at home, New York damn sure would be at home.
Is this confidence justified, though? We do
I love
know
that
Jimmy Butler
confidence.
just turned 35. We also know modern science has been stretching out players' careers, especially a guy like Jimmy who is keeping in extreme shape. Kevin Durant is 36, Steph is turning 37 this season, and LeBron will turn 40.
Damn.
All 3 of those stars are still playing
Damn,
at an extremely
damn.
high level. And playing alongside Luka Doncic or Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler would not need to be the alpha dog he was in the past Miami Heat runs. The question does linger, though: is Jimmy still capable of putting up his past playoff numbers? The answer to that lies in the stats. Right now, Jimmy is averaging 19 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. Numbers that are just a slight dip from the rest of Jimmy's time with the Heat combined. But digging deeper, here's where things get really interesting.
Okay, talk to me, Mike.
Jimmy Butler's true shooting percentage is 65.2%. That is not only good for 16th in the entire NBA, it is actually the highest of Jimmy Butler's career. Jimmy's win shares per 48 minutes currently stand at 2.51. Good for 4th in the NBA and the 3rd highest mark of
Come on now, numbers don't lie.
On the stat sheet, all of the evidence points to this is the same Jimmy Butler that we've known. The Miami Heat are also currently 5th in the Eastern Conference, and Jimmy has gone to battle with
Miami just needs to blow it all up. Trade Bam Adebayo, trade Tyler Hero, get some crazy picks for Tyler Hero, trade Jimmy Butler, just blow it up. You guys have hit your peak.
This to me calls into question, why now?
Trade
why
it all.
ask out this season? Jimmy could just become an unrestricted free agent this offseason and still battle it out with the Heat in this year's playoffs. So maybe Jimmy does realize he is near the end of his peak years. Eventually, Father Time will win. And he wants to play with a true superstar such as Luka or Steph or Reed Shepherd. AKA, he would be looking...
You ain't just say Reed Shepherd, my nigga.
You
ain't just say that.
He retires. It also, though, could be Pat Riley's response to Jimmy's claim that he could have taken Boston down.
If you're not on the court playing against Boston, are on the court playing against the New York Knicks, you should keep your mouth shut.
Many at the time loved Pat Riley's old school approach here. I don't think Jimmy Butler loved this though. If we look at Jimmy Butler's past, when he felt slighted in Minnesota, he demanded out in a big way.
He don't
as
take
he felt he was
disrespect.
wasting his time. In Philadelphia,
That's why we love Jimmy
on a
Butler.
roster
He
that
don't
lost
take
in just
disrespect.
7 games in 2019 to the eventual champion Toronto Raptors, Jimmy heard that the organization was asking if they could control him. And so he said, I am a grown man. Screw that. That is a very weird question. So I'm out of here. Now this season, after Pat Riley's comments, well, here we are. We're diving into the 3 teams on Jimmy's list. So let's talk about the exact trade packages that could be included and the
Warriors.
team's title chances with Jimmy on
Come
that
on,
roster.
Warriors.
We'll go Mavericks, Rockets, Warriors. So starting with the Mavs, Dallas easily has the least amount of trade assets to give up. At least assets that make sense for the Miami Heat. Jimmy, though, fits into this roster, I think, a lot better than other people would believe. Last year in the 2024 playoffs, the Mavericks made an incredible run all the way to the NBA Finals, where then the Celtics destroyed them. And in the 2024 NBA Finals, one thing became clear. Dallas needed more playmaking. In those finals, Luka Doncic led the Mavs with 5.6 assists per game. Kyrie was second on the team with 5 assists per game.
Look at that
After
Celtics
that
team,
came
bro.
PJ Washington in third with just 1.4. The 2024 Mavericks actually averaged the least assists in an NBA Finals since the 2015 Cavs. And that was a 2015 Cavs roster that had LeBron James number 1, and then Timothy Mozgov as their second leading scorer, as injuries destroyed that Cavs roster. Jimmy has proven to be able to not only create his own shot in the playoffs and in the regular season, but also he creates shots for other people. He is the type of playmaker that Dallas would really love to see on their roster if the price was not too high. I do want to be transparent here though. Looking all throughout social media, I think none of the teams on this list fans want Jimmy Butler. They don't want this trade to happen, it seems. They believe...
Who the fuck don't want Jimmy Butler? Especially if you're a Warriors fan. Why would you not want...
The salary is just too high for Jimmy's age, especially if he does opt in and take $52 million next season. For the Mavericks,
this is
people
Jimmy
might
Butler
also
we're talking
say
about.
Kyrie and Jimmy couldn't fit together, despite the fact that they were an incredible singing duo on Team USA.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, chasing, and I need you.
Iconic.
Or that maybe Jimmy wants to be the alpha dog and wouldn't fit next to a player such as Luka Doncic. But to me, the fact that Jimmy put Dallas and Golden State on his list of just 3 teams is very, very telling. He wants to win a championship. I think he is going to be willing to sacrifice that alpha dog role in order to get that done. The problem is the Mavericks' future draft picks are largely gone due to trades such as the one for Kyrie Irving, which means they'd have to create a package centered around Klay Thompson, Maxi Kleber, and then either Daniel Gafford or PJ Washington to make the salary fit. Not exactly a trade package Miami would want at all. In terms of other assets,
and then you're ruining your depth.
The Mavericks do have their 2025 and 2026 first-round picks still, along with young players such as Quentin Grimes or Jaden Hardy. The Godfather, Pat Riley, would likely be pushing for Derek Lively in this trade. That is where I think we would see Dallas say no, as Lively, at just 20 years old, was a key part of their title run. He has proven to have a very bright NBA future ahead of him. Overall, I don't think this trade seems very likely. The Klay Thompson experience has not been working well, and maybe Dallas, after getting to the championship game last year, feels that this is their championship window and makes a move. Now, the Houston Rockets have more first-round pick assets, as they have a 2027 pick swap with the Brooklyn Nets.
Houston don't make sense to me. If you want to win, it don't make sense to me.
Overall, the Rockets just have the most young talent and the most trade assets on their roster. If Houston wanted to make a huge offer for Jimmy Butler, they would get it. It's really that simple. The question is, does Jimmy fit into what the Rockets are building?
I don't think so.
Right now, Houston has one of the league's best young cores with Alfred Sengun, Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr., Tari Eason, and Reed Shepard, along with vets such as Fred VanVleet, who have worked in seamlessly with this young core. If Houston were able to trade someone like Cam Whitmore along with Dylan Brooks, and then the expiring contracts of Jeff Green Green and Jock Landale, which does work in the trade machine, then maybe they seriously consider this. Whether they would be willing to add in a real piece such as Jabari Smith Jr. or Reed Shepard, well, that would be risky for a team that has only been trending upwards. And the question is, with Jimmy Butler on this roster, is Houston going to be able to compete with teams such as the Oklahoma City Thunder or the Mavericks and then go on to beat a team like the Boston Celtics? Probably not. This is a team that is on the rise but has no playoff success right now to really fall back on recently. So it's even possible here that the Rockets were included on this list to drive up the price for a Jimmy Butler trade because the Rockets have so many theoretical assets. I just personally don't think the risk is worth it.
No,
if they
don't do that.
A move that includes one of their major pieces. So to me, all signs point to the Golden State Warriors as both the team that would benefit the most from this trade and the team with the most realistic path to make. To begin, the Warriors wanted to trade for
the $7 Lux Cravings box has the Gordita Supreme.
I don't even let these YouTube ads make me mad anymore. We know they're coming. Like, comment, subscribe. Give me to 1,000 subs. I will buy YouTube Premium, and we won't have to worry about no more ads. I don't even let it bother me anymore. I know what it is.
We know this. It was reported, Paul George himself said it on his podcast. He actually said that it came very, very close to happening. And wouldn't you know it, Paul George turns 35 this year. So clearly, Golden State has no problem with Jimmy Butler's age. The Warriors are currently sending out their 2030 first-round pick, top 20 protected, to Washington. But other than that, they are clear to move multiple first-round picks if they need to. On top of this, it has been reported the Warriors will not extend Jonathan Kuminga before the trade deadline. Which means
okay, hold on.
they don't trade him, he will be a restricted free agent this
offseason.
And if they don't want to extend him now, what happens if a team makes a major offer for him in the summer? Nothing good for Golden State. Looking at Kuminga's career with the Golden State Warriors, it has been apparent for some time that the franchise does not fully believe in his potential. And the road to match Jimmy Butler's salary would take some creativity, but it's not that hard actually. Looking at the trade machine, Golden State would have to move DeAnthony Melton, Gary Payton II, Kyle Anderson, Kevon Looney, Lindy Waters, and then Jonathan Kuminga to complete this trade. Of course, after that, Miami...
That kind of kills their depth, though. I wouldn't do it. That kind of kills their depth.
Again, though, on top of this, if it comes to it, Golden State is able to include their own first-round picks as well. Now, why would Golden State go all in here? Easy answer. Steph Curry is turning 37 this season. Father Time is undefeated. Steph and the Warriors championship window is closing fast. They're not going to trade Steph Curry for trade assets. It is possible that Golden State does instead look to make a move for someone like Zach LaVine or Nikola Vucevic. However, neither of those players at their very prime have shown us the
You guys have had a chance to get Zach LaVine. Y'all disrespected him.
I think Golden State wanting to make a move for Paul George does show they're not afraid of age, does show that they're not afraid of veteran talent here. And at 14-9 to begin the year, Golden State has proven they're still able to compete at a high level, but that also they are missing a piece to push them over the top. So while a lot of people are not going to believe in Jimmy at this point in his career,
I still do.
Jimmy has thrived on a lack of belief forever. It actually fuels him. He was homeless as a teenager. He was not even first team
Jimmy's a dog.
East in college at Marquette. He was the 30th pick in the draft, and since the 76ers let him go before the 2020 season, Jimmy has reached the Eastern Conference Finals 3 times and the NBA Finals twice, while Philly still has not even made it back to the conference finals since 2001 when MVP Allen Iverson was leading them. Jimmy Butler is hungry to win his first NBA championship. I'm interested to know, what do you think? Does he have a chance on a roster like Golden State?
As an event, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Jimmy Butler to the Warriors is the ultimate goal. I'm not going to lie. If you guys are going to destroy your roster and kill your depth, do not do it. Jimmy Butler is not an all-NBA player anymore. Do not kill your depth. But if you could just package it around Kuminga, some picks, maybe Gary Payton, and that's about it. Do not kill your depth. That just don't make no sense. We're out of here.